Good morning, day 281 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is baby steps. So when we have an idea of something we want to make, create, bring forward, oftentimes we spend a ton of time on the details and getting everything right and waiting to make sure timing is good and we have all our ducks lined up and everything in a row, and then we hit these stuck times, these frozen times, because we have so much in our head that we need to do before we can do this that we can't do it until all these little things come together, and we never get there. This is a flip it opportunity. Baby steps. Just start doing little things. And it's not perfect. It's not. We're not perfect. The process isn't perfect. And in fact, once you get in the river, things are moving and they shift. And it may end up even better than you actually had originally thought, because you started the process. You started moving. You started creating. You started collaborating. You started playing. It doesn't have to be set up all done before we get going. And in fact, this is where the freeze often does come in. And so many people have these awesome ideas, are ready to do things, and it never gets off the ground. It happens to all of us at different times, usually because we're overwhelmed and drowning in have-tos. Journal it out, write it out, bunch it out, bite it out, whatever you need to do. Do little things first, and this gets the energy and the momentum flowing in the right direction, and then new things come in, new ways come in, easier ways you haven't even imagined start flowing. So go for it. Do those baby steps. I hope this is helpful and gets things flowing when you get stuck. Love is your superpower. It's time to ignite it. Namaste. Good morning. Day 282 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is pity parties are okay. And then we have a little additional hack about anxiety. So I'm bringing this up because lots of people seem to be feeling a little stressed, glum, stuck lately. And they're worried about how long this is going to last, and they don't want to be here, and they're trying to move through this really quickly and bring in the positive energy and focus on the great things. And while positive energy is awesome and all good, if you're feeling yucky and stuck, then the truth is we have to acknowledge these feelings as well. Otherwise, if we push them down, they come out in different ways, in pain, in anxiety. They come up through anxiety when we actually don't address what's going on. So I want to say to you, have a pity party. Bring all these emotions up and sit with them. And parties don't last forever, right? Parties have a certain amount of time. And so it's important to actually feel these feelings, to ask questions about them, to unravel them, to try to go down to the roots and pull them up and out and release them. And there's lots of different ways to do this. Asking questions. It's somewhat like having a friend have a seat in front of you and say, what's going on? Why are you here? What are you bringing for me to look at? It's an opportunity to go deeper and have better understanding. It's kind of like you're mining jewels, little treasures within yourself that are holding space. And once you get rid of these spaces, more things, more beautiful things, more flow can happen. And so I encourage you to feel these feelings. Yes, they're uncomfortable. Yes, you may not want to. Yes, they're like, ugh. However, they're part of you, they're part of us, and that's what makes us whole. So you don't, you can do this on your own, you can do this journaling, you can do this holding hands with others. We're here. I'm here for you. You have a community, I'm sure, that you share with and that you talk with. Utilize them or connect with me and I'll help you. One last little thing before I go, to help us through these times and just through everything, using essential oils. Take a drop or two and put them in the bottom of your shower. And then, with the hot water, you kind of create a steam. So using melaleuca or tea tree oil is great for clearing yourself, clearing all emotions and other things that are going on. Using adaptive helps for calm and peace and serenity. You can even put a drop of each in the bottom of the shower and then let it do its thing and just enjoy it. Play with that. Use your favorite essential oils. I hope this is helpful. Love is your superpower. Namaste. Have a great day. Good morning. Today's day 283 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is the power of a group. So I know we're all separated right now and kind of social distancing and keeping to our own corners. However, it's really important to gather, at least by Zooms. And I know we're sick of Zooming out. But I'm going to tell you, there's a few groups that I'm in and we meet monthly. And yesterday was one of our meetings. There's 8 of us and we've been meeting for, I think, over 4 years. Or just about 4 years, because it started when I moved in this house. And we meet monthly, and yesterday was just really one of those magical connections. And I'm sharing this because there's a power and there's an energy in groups. And when you share and are held and heard and seen and use your voice, there's a freeing component that comes through you as well as connects you. So you're not alone. And even though many of us are more alone physically than maybe we've ever been, there's been a lot of silver linings and connection has been greater on many levels as well. So I invite you, if you're not in a group, to start a group and you don't even have to know what it's going to be about. You just want to have a group and maybe you want to meet once a month. Once a month's not a lot. It really isn't. It comes faster than you know, and it's kind of just the right amount of time. Everybody's got a lot of things going on. And I have friends who are in groups that are once a week and they find that really helpful as well. It's really checking in and seeing what you need. And if you're starting the group, it can really serve you. So these are places, they are sacred circles, they are confidential circles, they are places to share what's going on, and it can be very light shares and it can be very deep shares. And this group changes all the time. It's the same people, yet the energy is different all the time. So I invite you to just feel the power of a group. It's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's available. So I hope this is helpful. Love is your superpower. Namaste. Have a great day. Good morning. Day 284 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is unknown. I have no idea. Nothing has come to me to speak about. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm running out of time. I have to get on the treadmill. I have a meeting. And I was going to skip today. But I'm hoping something happens. There is one thing I do want to share. I was actually thinking, my good friend Catherine shared with me this new Netflix series that I wanted to share with you. It's called Surviving Death, and there's 5 episodes. It's all about near-death experiences, and they are from people who have had these experiences sharing on camera about what happened to them and the fascinating stories. And I'm not going to get into the details. We watched the first episode last night and it just blew us both away. Just lots of things that I had heard, but not directly from someone who had gone through this experience. So I invite you to check that out. It's called Surviving Death on Netflix, and it's fascinating, which kind of rolls into angels. And I am actually off today to go buy more crystal angels. I have been flying through angels with all the love boxes that I'm doing, and also some end of life boxes, sending beautiful angels and other things to support people who are going through grief and loss. And I have no angels. So my head this morning is kind of all over the place, and I think that's why I was having trouble focusing and coming to center to do this tidbit. And I guess I share that I'm human too, just like everybody else, and we're all human and have human moments. And so just allowing for those and not being upset, but knowing that's what's supposed to be right now and kind of going with the flow. So here I am, going with the flow in a new way. Hope this is helpful. Hope you have a great day. Love is your superpower. Namaste. Good morning. Day 285 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is a gratitude wave. I was listening about the Super Bowl this weekend and was asking questions like, who's going? Where is it? And Jim was saying it's in Tampa, and actually the only people who are going to be there watching are all frontline workers, and that they are coming as a gift and as a thank you for all that they do. And I was thinking about that, and it was such a beautiful gesture. And I would love to be a part of it. And so I am inviting you to be a part of this gratitude wave and text anybody you know who is a frontline worker and thank them for what they're doing. And so who would that be? And I wrote down a list, and it's probably not complete. So if there's others that you want to add to this list, put them in the comments and we all will know. And so sending a text to anyone you know who's a nurse, a doctor, a dentist, an orthodontist, a hygienist. Thank the people at the post office. Probably can't text them, you don't know them, but if you see them, thank them. Thank UPS guys, Amazon people, men and women, any delivery people. Could be food, could be packages. Builders, construction workers, people who are working outside on the street. These are all frontline people. Grocery store people, policemen and policewomen, firemen and firewomen, teachers and all the administrators who go along with that. I can't even read my writing. Transportation people, so bus drivers, train drivers, T drivers, anyone, Uber drivers, right? And people who, I don't know what that one says either. Anyway, well, so this is a great, beautiful thing to do, and then tell other people to do that. So we create this beautiful wave of gratitude. I hope you'll join me. It's a beautiful thing to do. Love is your superpower. Have a great day. Namaste. Good morning. Day 286 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is game day perspective. So for all of us in America, today is potentially a big day of the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, our New England guy, versus Patrick Mahomes, 43-year-old versus a 25-year-old. That's one perspective. How many different perspectives are there on this game? We have the players, we have the coaches, we have the fans, we have all the people who work there, we have the TV people, we have the anchors, we have the sportscasters, we have the commercials, we have the entertainment, we have the weather, we have the time, we have the food, we have the party, or different kind of party this year, right? There's so many different perspectives. What do you do to get ready when you have a big day? What's your ritual before a big day? How do you center? How do you ground? How do you deal with other people on your team and their energy? In other words, other people in your life and their energy. What do you do to move forward no matter what? To forget what just happened and move forward from that second to the next. These are all magnified little things that happen on this day, right? Some people could care less about football. Maybe love the commercials. Maybe used to love getting together with the parties and seeing people and having a good time. All that is kind of changed for this year. Hopefully next year all of that will be back. But how do you adjust so that maybe you still have fun? You can still do things, talk to people. I don't know. It's up for grabs. It's by perspective, right? So it's whatever your perspective is and how you bring it. And if that's not working for you, then change the channel. Literally, change the channel. Switch to a different emotion. Switch to a different outcome. Play with all of this because it matters and it helps move things in the direction that you want. So who knows what's going to happen with a 43-year-old and a 25-year-old out on that field today, but it's exciting to watch. Love is your superpower. Time to ignite it. Hope this has been helpful. Namaste. Have a great day. Good morning. Day 287 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. Well, I don't even know exactly what I'm going to say. I never do, but I want to talk about consistency and being calm and present and in the moment and doing what you do, no matter what's going on around you. Here's a man, 43 years old, who's been to the Super Bowl numerous times. This was his 7th win. Been there 10 times, I think, or 9 times, don't remember. 7th win, and it was a 43-year-old versus a 25-year-old. Now I'm going to say I don't think Mahomes was at his best yesterday with a broken toe or an injury to his big toe. However, this was the day that they had to play. And it was just so wild to watch the demeanor between each person and each team and each captain and each surrounding. It was really amazing to just see the focus, and that this game, I'm sure in his mind, even though it was very different from any other game, is no different from any other game. And this is something we all can bring into our life: consistency, centering, grounding, using visualizations. Curious to ask him, did he see himself wearing that t-shirt? Did he see himself holding up the silver football, the trophy? I bet he did. using visualizations are powerful. Feeling what it would feel like to win. These are all things that are tools that we can use in our everyday life as well. And I love at the end how they hugged, Mahomes and Brady, and he had some words, and I don't remember what they are now, but he had some words, and they were motivational words that he said to Mahomes. And, you know, Brady, as long as he chooses to be here, will be here, but he also realizes there are other legacies coming up, and Mahomes is one of them. And so why not be a mentor? Beautiful. Reaching out and helping others is part of the process. Love is your superpower. Hope this is helpful. Namaste. Good morning. Day 288 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. And the topic is Judgment Day. Well, whether living with someone who is very judgmental, or if you are very judgmental, I'm going to invite you into a new space. Being around someone who is judgmental is very difficult. To be on the receiving end of constant criticism, surveillance, observation, fear is a really tough place. And we have options. So if you are the judgment one, if you are sitting in the judge seat, I ask you to bring some new perspective and check in with yourself and see why this is so important, what everybody else is doing, saying, being, not doing, saying, being. And maybe there's some fear-based energy that can be explored, released, and shifted. When we are around people who are judgy all the time, it doesn't feel good. And the truth is, it doesn't feel good to be judgy either, because you are in fear if you are judgmental. So bringing it to the attention of that person sometimes is helpful and sometimes makes things worse. But sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. So I encourage you to call people on the judgment and to just say, hey, that's really judgmental. Doesn't have to be mean the way you say it, doesn't have to be nasty, but merely to bring it to the forefront instead of just being quiet all the time, or explosions, because there can be lots of explosions in judgy people because they tend to be controlling. And so these are just opportunities to shift the energy that's between two people. And these are patterns. They're patterns within ourselves and then patterns within other people. So taking the time and the energy to untwist the pipe cleaners. You'll often hear me say things get twisted, and then once they get twisted, they end up staying this way unless we consciously untwist them. And it takes just as much energy to have arguments as it does to have beautiful connection. So you get to choose how you want your energy to be. So take that judgment hat off, have a vacation from that part of yourself and switch it up. It's a lot more free to be out of the judge seat. I hope this is helpful. Love is your superpower. Time to ignite it. Namaste. Good morning. Day 288 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. The topic today is your power. The other morning I was listening while I was on the treadmill to the podcast On Purpose by Jay Shetty. I highly recommend him if you don't listen to him already. And he was interviewing, and I might mispronounce her name, Priyanka Chopra Jonas. And I loved hearing all about her life and her journey so far. And she has a new book called Unfinished, which I think I will get because it just sounds awesome. But why I am talking about this is because at the end of the interview, he always does 5 fill in the blanks, 5 short answers. And this is a great part of the interview. You learn a little bit more about each person. And he asked this question, and I'm just gonna, he asked her, who do you go to for an opinion about your work? And she laughed and she said, nobody. And he laughed. And I love this. And he said, in all of my interviews, I've never had anyone answer nobody. And she's like, why would I go to other people for an opinion? It's my work. I check in with me. And they both continued to laugh. And I actually paused it, jumped off the treadmill and wrote it down. And I thought, oh my God, I love her. She's young. She's about 35, I think. And she totally gets it. She's not giving her power away, especially in her line of work where so many people have an opinion and tell you how you should be all the time. She knows that she goes to her. She can tell. She knows what she wants, how to do it, and if she tries it and it doesn't work, she's learning in the process. So I share this because I was so wowed by her answer and her honesty and her being, that it's so important to really, most of us do go to other people and then we change based on what they say and what they think and what they want. And while sometimes checking with others is a good idea, checking in with yourself is most important. And I had to share this because I was really impressed and want you to check in with you. So I hope this is helpful information. Have a great day. Love is your superpower. Namaste. Good morning. Day 290 of Turtle Lane Tidbits. Sonny Mazer here. I have the topic for today is the compliment folder. I'm going to show you my compliment folder. I made it this morning. So this is a folder. I have yet to decorate it. I'm going to decorate it, but it would have taken me hours and I didn't want to hold up my tidbit. So we had a meeting last night with one of my business groups with very wise entrepreneurs. And one of these business goddesses shared with us that she has a compliment folder, and that when clients send her emails or notes or even express it verbally to her and they compliment her, she actually saves these in a folder, because our culture actually doesn't really know what to do with compliments, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but when I typically had gotten a compliment, I just kind of brush it aside really quick, and then I go on to ask somebody else something. I ask them something back to make them feel good. It's like I don't even want to acknowledge it. But I learned many years ago, when you don't acknowledge the compliment, you're doing a disservice to yourself as well as dismissing the other person. And so last night we were talking about compliments and flowing and love, and how important it is not only to be an amazing giver, but equally important is to be a receiver and have that balance of giving and receiving. Because, and I want to look at this quickly, I want to get this right because one of the goddesses said this last night, learning to receive keeps the flow going. Otherwise, it stops with you. So how important is that? You want to keep this love flowing. You want to keep the compliments flowing. You want to keep the energy flowing. If you shut it down here, all those who you would then send to, who they would then send to, it's over. So I am going to invite you all to make your own compliment folder, and in fact to give a compliment today and be in that present moment and also to remind yourself, what does it feel like when you receive one? And be open to receiving this. So I know this might be a stretch and out of the comfort zone for some of you, but give it a whirl. I hope this is helpful. Love is your superpower. Time to ignite it. Namaste.